For our Excel assignment this week, the directions on the video were very clear. I am just creating this additional video to visually show you where some of the numbers come from and to just give another example. I hope you find it helpful. So as you open this document, you notice you have all the markets here and you have the monthly demand with numbers already filled in. If you go to week 8's team project page, scroll down and you'll find these numbers, the average number of cups sold per lemonade stand for each month for each type of market. And so those are the numbers that they have already included on your Excel graph here. So that's very helpful. As far as fixed costs go, those come from this week's lesson. So if you're in week 10, the team project lesson, it will show you the fixed cost per month for each market. So for example, for the neighborhood cost per month, it's $150 plus $256 or $406 a month of fixed costs. I would not put 406 right here. Instead, I would times 406 by 12 because 406 is my monthly cost and I want the annual cost. So make sure whatever market you're doing that you times your monthly costs by 12. And because I want you to be able to calculate that, I'm just going to make up a total. Again, this is not the correct total. It's just a number I put in here. The variable costs come from week 7 when we calculated the cost of a regular cup of lemonade and the cost to produce a fancy cup of lemonade. So the regular cup was for the neighborhood market and the event market, and the fancy cup is for the high-end market. So I take this total right here. The variable cost for a neighborhood cup of lemonade is 30 cents. And now I have my price and my demand. And this is where, as a team, you really have to think about what your strategy is. One of the questions on the rubric says, points on the rubric says, the price aligns with their strategy and is accurate based on the demand graph. So you have to look at a team as to what your strategy is. You have to decide, and your mission. Is our goal to sell a lot of cups of lemonade so that we bring a lot of people together? And if that's the case, you want your total units sold to be very high. And if your goal is to make a lot of money, then you want your profit margin to be high. And your profit margin is your net profit divided by revenue, and they will calculate that for you. But that pretty much just says how efficient you are at using the money that you're spending on your lemonade business. So if you're going for profit, the higher this number, the better for your business goals or for your mission and your strategy. So to do that, you would look at the graph given you in this assignment. So let's say in the neighborhood market, I decide to sell for 90 cents. Then that means that 45% of the people who would normally buy in that market would purchase it. So I go back here and I write 90 cents, and that's 45% of the demand. Now you'll notice that these numbers are automatically calculated for me and the graph is made for me. I find it useful to create my own little graph. This is informal and it's not something you have to do. I just think it's easier to help you figure out as a team which price is best. Profit margin, number of cups sold. So at the price of 90 cents, I have a profit margin of 30%, which is very good, and I sold 11,264 cups. So there's one price point there. Now let's try a different price and see what happens. If I sold for 50 cents a cup, 85% of the people who normally demand it would buy it. So let's go 50 cents, and then we've got 85%. 80, okay. Oops. My computer's rebelling on me here. Oh, $50. That is not my price. 50 cents. So at 50 cents, 21,276 cups are sold. 21,276 at 50 cents. And let's see what my profit margin is. My profit margin is 5%. So I've still made, that looks funny there too. Okay, so I've still made a profit, and I've sold a lot of lemonade, so that's something to look at. Let's look at one more price here. So let's say I decide to sell it for 40 cents. At 40 cents, 95% of the customers would buy it. Okay. I need my computer to work. 40% or 40 cents, and then 95% of the customers. So at 40 cents, I sell 23,779 units. So that's really good if I want to reach a lot of people. But unfortunately, my profit margin is negative 14%. So my team, I don't know why my thing keeps formatting that way. So that is not a number that I want to sell at, because then I won't make any money. So with your team, go through certain prices, decide which match your strategy, and then figure that out. Again, your numbers will be different than mine because this isn't the real total of the fixed costs. And then I'm just going to go back and put in a different number here. It was what? Let's put back a number from our thing here, 90 cents. And so at 90 cents, 45% of the people would buy. So here you just need to do your break in even point, and that's just inputting this formula. So equals fixed cost, click on that, divided by variable costs. And this is something that's very important. You don't just want to do variable costs minus, you don't just want to do price minus variable costs, because what will happen is your computer will divide price, fixed cost divided by price, then it will minus variable costs. So it's very important that you do fixed costs divided by, and then put a parenthesis, and then do your price minus variable cost, another parenthesis, enter. And so that is the point, that is the number of units you have to sell to at least cover your costs. So that is how you figure that out. I hope this video is helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know.